Well, we start with politics tonight. So long, Iowa. Hello, New Hampshire. It is on to the next battleground state as campaign 2016 rolls ahead. And the contenders are sharpening up their attacks.
Hillary Clinton made history today, just not the way she'd hoped. She was declared the winner of Iowa's Democratic caucuses by the thinnest margin in history. Now she faces a tougher battle against Bernie Sanders on his New England home turf next week.
New Hampshire is also where Republican Donald Trump will be looking for a win after coming in second to Ted Cruz and barely edging out third place Marco Rubio.
Hard to believe campaign 2016 could get even nastier.
But that is the political reality tonight as those candidates battle for first place in the New Hampshire primary.
KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan shows us the latest campaign strategies from New Hampshire. Dave?
You know, the results from Iowa really shook things up, not just in New Hampshire, but really perhaps for the rest of the race in both parties. The stakes are going to be much higher for Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton in New Hampshire. Analysts say both are under pressure to win big to get their campaigns back on track. Hillary won, of course, in Iowa, but not by much. And getting things back on track could be a challenge.
Y'all treat politics in New Hampshire like we treat football in Texas.
On the day after the wild and woolly Iowa caucuses, the winner on the Republican side, Senator Ted Cruz, led a stampede of candidates into New Hampshire.
We need to take power out of Washington and back to we the people.
His California campaign co-chair told me Cruz will have a political bullseye on his back after the Iowa win. And his prediction for the last two candidates standing in the race for the nomination doesn't include a Trump.
I believe at the end of the day, it'll come down to Cruz and Rubio. I think that Rubio is starting to garner the more establishment vote, and Cruz is starting to garner the more conservative vote, especially like Huckabee dropped out today.
And next president of the United States, Donald Trump.
Donald Trump told reporters in New Hampshire he really didn't try that hard to win in Iowa and spent less time and money there than some of the other candidates. And he acknowledged that skipping the final debate last week probably didn't help him either.
I think it could have been the debate. I think some people were disappointed that I didn't go in the debate. If I had it to do again, I would have done the exact same thing.
But now the pressure's on Trump to win somewhere like New Hampshire, where he holds a large lead in the polls. And the question is, will the Iowa results change that? Senator Marco Rubio, who finished right behind Trump in Iowa, is banking on it and says he's the better candidate than Trump to take on Ted Cruz.
First of all, we're one delegate apart, despite the outcome. Second, I think I give us the best chance not just to unify the party, which is important. You can't win if this party's divided, but also to grow it.
Rubio has the momentum coming out of Iowa, but he too is now a target. This is how New Jersey Governor Chris Christie talked to reporters in New Hampshire about Rubio.
We know who the boy in the bubble is up here. He never answers your questions. He's constantly scripted and controlled because he can't answer your questions. So when Senator Rubio gets here, when the boy in the bubble gets here, I hope you guys ask him some questions.
The Republican race this year has become so fierce that the Republican National Committee member from California, Sean Steele, says it's not inconceivable the nomination won't be secured until the California primary in June.
Last night made that possibility much more real. If it was a Donald Trump victory across the board, maybe not. But now we've got some new focus. We've got some serious players. Millions are involved. Millions are now taking sides. That consolidation could make California the pinnacle of the primary season.
Things are no less chippy on the Democratic side, where in Iowa last night, some Bernie Sanders supporters shouted she's a liar at the TV screen when Hillary Clinton's image came up. Clinton won the Democratic caucus race by the smallest margin in the history of the caucuses and became the first woman to win a presidential caucus in Iowa and vowed to fight hard in New Hampshire.
I am so thrilled that I'm coming to New Hampshire after winning Iowa.
In fact, the race was so close that in at least 6 Democratic caucuses, the winner was decided by a coin toss. But the latest polls give Sanders, who's from Vermont, a commanding lead in New Hampshire of 20 points or more. And his message of democratic socialism seems to be playing well in the neighboring state.
It sounds to me like you're ready for a political revolution.
Well, if Sanders wins in New Hampshire, as the polls now indicate is likely, it will give him plenty of momentum. But the equation becomes more difficult for him after New Hampshire as the race turns to South Carolina, the Nevada caucuses, and then the big multi-primary days in March and beyond. In many of those states, Clinton has a strong organizational advantage, so things could turn.
Dave, let's turn to the GOP side where there's still a number of candidates here vying for votes.
Oh, yeah.
How is New Hampshire going to impact that race?
New Hampshire could have a big impact. New Hampshire may be a must-win state now for Donald Trump, for example. If he loses there, it may be difficult for him to pick up the pieces and argue that he's still a winner and carry on in the states that follow.